Live from Garry O'Neal Studios in Baltimore.
You're listening to the See.Plan.Do show. Garry O'Neal.
All right, here you go. DJ.
Welcome to the See.Plan.Do show. My name is Garry O'Neal Jr., professional mindset coach, business coach, relationship coach, consultant, facilitator, a lot of different things underneath my belt. So welcome to episode 146 entitled Say Drake, How to Deal When Life Gives You an L, which is also a loss. So what are we covering in today in this episode? One, how to deal with that, as well as my 5 favorite books and my reaction to the Super Bowl, as well as halftime show. All right, so can we get to our quote of the week? Sure. Defeat begins with the fear that one has lost. I'll say it again. Defeat begins with the fear that one has lost. All right, so can I get to my shout outs? My day one A1 listeners, thank you so much. You don't know how much you mean to me. First time listeners, repeat listeners, wherever you are, whenever you are, however the algorithm brought you to me and me to you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be able to take a moment to check out this show. You could literally been doing anything else in the world, and I appreciate that. And I look to make sure that for the couple of minutes that I have you, we go over a lot of great information. All right. So without further ado, I'm really excited to do this episode. Let's get right to our See.Plan.Do moment of the week, sponsored by Heart Savers Maryland. So right after a brief word from my sponsor, we'll get right to it.
Are you looking to get certified in CPR, first aid, or other life-saving skills? Heart Savers Maryland is your premier CPR training facility. Individual and classroom sessions available. Schedule your training at heartsaversmd.com. Each second counts. Get trained today.
All right. So for this episode 146, I brought out my 5 favorite books. Hopefully you guys have listened. You already got them in your library. If not, make sure you start your book club with these 5. Number 1, Atomic Habits by James Clear. So with Atomic Habits, again, by James Clear, what he's done is that he describes and goes over how we can get better 1% each day. And what is the process to create positive habits as well as end negative habits. An absolutely amazing book. I highly recommend. Okay. Number 2 is going to be Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. So Brian Tracy says, hey, imagine that every day we have to eat a frog, and that frog is your biggest goal, thing that you have to do. He says, hey, let's get it out the way. Let's eat it. And he goes over how you can be productive. Again, how you can accomplish your goals, goal setting, and being able to be able to accomplish your goals. So I love that book as well. All right. I'm glad we don't have to eat frogs, but hey, we're good to go. Number 3 is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And so with David Goggins, he is a world-class athlete, been in the military, and he shares his story about overcoming adversity and being able to get to a level where now he is promoting, motivating others. And so just is such a great story on how to overcome adversity. I highly recommend reading that. Number 4 is going to be The 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. And so Miguel Ruiz highlights these 4 agreements that says, hey, if you focus on these 4 agreements, you'll have a better life. And it's really great. One of my, when I first read it, which one was it? Agreement number 3, don't take things personal, was one that I was like, I don't know about this, Miguel. But working through it, going over it, really, really put a lot of work in. It's really great. And number 5 is going to be The 4-Hour Workweek. Such a great book. The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. And so he highlights how you can maximize productivity at work. So that way you can just get it right down to the 4-Hour Workweek, and you'll see the really great story on how he got to that. So again, let me give you my 5 books. Atomic Habits by James Clear, Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz, and number 5 is going to be The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferris. Make sure you get them. If you have them, let me know how you feel. Let me know what your favorite 5 is. All right. And so those are really great books. And tell me what you think. All right. You can always comment below here on YouTube. All right. Let's get to our song of the week. Now, guys, you know I can't play music like that on here on YouTube. But if you're listening, you know, right after our brief word from our sponsor, you'll hear what I'm vibing to throughout the week. But fear not, people that are watching it on YouTube. If you go straight down and you look at my, you'll see my little playlist. It goes over exactly what I'm listening to. All right. So right after that word from our sponsor, we'll get to that. And then we'll get right to our appetizer.
Having a wedding, birthday party, or other social or corporate event, contact Greenlight Entertainment today. With our experienced DJs, quality sound, and professional service, we look to make your event the event. Check us out on the web at www.greenlightentertain.com. With Greenlight Entertainment, you have the green light.
All right, so let's get to our appetizer. So Super Bowl just happened, right? And Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs lost, got decimated by the Philadelphia Eagles. So shout out to Philly and all the Philadelphia Eagle fans across the world. Well-deserved win. That gives them 2 championships, and they've done really, really great. You know, they absolutely stepped up with their defense, destroyed Kansas City. Interceptions, getting to the ball. They took care of business. So shout out to them. But let's zoom in on the halftime show. The halftime show starred Kendrick Lamar. And if you've been living under a rock, you know, Kendrick Lamar was beefing with Drake. They're going back and forth. They make some songs. And boom, here's how we get Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl. So there are a lot of there's a lot of different polarizing opinions about it. Let me give you mine. I just think it was okay. Do I think it was the best of all time? Absolutely not. All right. A lot of people did like it. A lot of people, you know, they highlighted the symbolism of some of the things that he was doing, which is great. There was symbolic things that are there. All right. But 2 things can be true. You can just have an okay show and have some symbolic meaning and it just be okay. All right. So if you didn't really like it, it doesn't mean that like, oh, you weren't, if you're not deep, just say that or whatever. You don't have to be deep. I don't think that there were a lot of hidden messages. I think there was a lot of symbolic things, but it wasn't like, oh, it was hidden meanings. You just saw it. He said it outright. Things were being said outright. So I think it was okay. Before I recorded this, I just found out that this was the most watched Super Bowl halftime show of all time. I mean, yeah, we have that opportunity now. But when I think about a couple of them, one, do I think this is better than Michael Jackson's? Absolutely not. I don't think anybody's is better than Michael Jackson's. He jumped out and stood there for 2 solid minutes, didn't say anything, and people lost their minds. I've never seen that. Beyonce's is another great one. Usher, you know, so you have a lot of great ones. I mean, it was okay. For me, I thought he was going to take it up to a little bit of a next level. And that's not what we got. I mean, if I'm a DJ, so I think I would have put a little bit better playlist together, you know, but it was okay. All right. I think that the Super Bowl focused, this halftime show focused on too much of, hey, is he going to play Not Like Us or not? And I just think that wasted his time. He had SZA out there. They played 2 songs. I mean, I would have loved hearing 30 for 30. That's my favorite song from her. And I just think that they could have focused on that. They could have, if they wanted to focus on more symbolic gestures and stuff like that, great. But I think it just got too much focus was on, is he going to play Not Like Us? Now, don't get me wrong. He played it. Yeah, it still hits, you know, but I just feel like, it was okay. Some people said it was mediocre. It was mid. Some people hated it. Let me know what you think. Again, I think it was just okay. I don't think that it was something that I'm like, oh, yeah, let's play it again. But some people really liked it. And again, you're more than entitled to your opinion. Okay? I will say this. Serena Williams being there was whack to me. And the reason why it was whack is because I don't like when people try to bandwagon when, okay, right. It's safe to say that right now it's safe to say that Kendrick Lamar has won the battle of rapping between him and Drake. It's okay to say that. All right. I'm a fan of both, probably more toward Drake, but I like both. But to be able to just turn around and now, okay, we're playing Not Like Us. And now you have Serena Williams showing up, man. Come on, yo. Like, come on. Now she's crip walking in the song. I mean, my first reaction was, if we want to highlight Not Like Us, when she finishes that set, when she gets done and she goes back to her family, they're not like us. But I don't want to take it there. I don't want to take it there, and I don't think anybody should take it there. But I just don't like that idea that now you're jumping on the bandwagon. I mean, I also can't remember like how it ended with her and Drake. But if it wasn't something horrible, like, go sit down and relax. But she still is one of the greatest of all time for tennis. So I guess there's that. But still was a whack move. I don't believe in people jumping in on the bandwagon when something's going down like that. All right. So that's my take for Super Bowl and the halftime show. All right, let's get to our entree. And again, episode 146, how to deal when the world gives you an L. Now, I did it because clearly with Drake and Kendrick Lamar, we can say there's winners and there's losers. All right. I can say that, yeah, you know what? Drake lost the battle as far as, if they finish up with Not Like Us, I don't foresee him making another song about it. I don't foresee Kendrick Lamar making another song. So ultimately, I feel like, hey, it's over. And most people are going to say, hey, you know what? Kendrick Lamar won. I mean, he did come out with a more popular song, but there's some things that could have been attributed to that. But let's just go with face value and just say, hey, you know what? The better popular song won, and we'll go from there, right? So in true life coaching, business coaching, mind coaching fashion, we all deal with L's. I was like, well, how can we take this to another level? So I came up with 6 things in 6 ways you can deal with if you yourself are dealing with an L. Okay. Number 1. So let's just go with taking an L, regardless of whatever's going on, is extremely taxing on our emotions. We could be frustrated, angry, upset. Those things can happen. I don't think that Drake is just sitting there just chilling, even though he's in a mansion. I think we all entitled to how we feel about things. So he may be upset, he may not be upset. But when we catch L's, whether it's divorce, losing a job, losing something, not accomplishing your goals, we all can take some type of L. So, it happens. So let's just go with a couple of these. Number 1 is stay calm. Something happening, you're catching an L. This is a time where we should master our emotions. Okay. Again, emotions are high. You could be upset. You can be really, really upset, but we don't need to be crashing out. And we need to try to master our emotions at that moment. Staying composed helps us in the long run. So just try to calm down as best as you can. Utilize those relaxation techniques or stress relieving techniques that we talked about millions of times on the show. Number 2, reflect. Ask yourself 3 basic questions. You can write them down. Number 1, what went wrong? What went wrong? Number 2, did you make mistakes? And number 3, how can I improve? So if we want to use the Drake-Kendrick beef, I would say that if there was a mistake by Drake, I think that he shouldn't have went after family. I think he shouldn't have went after family, especially where they could have just kept it rap beef. But when he took it to family and started saying some stuff, it then made Kendrick Lamar have to say stuff, and here's where we are. So I think that he could have avoided a lot of that by just sticking to albums, rap sales, all those things, and go from there. But he took it there, and that's what happens when you take it there. So just ask yourself, what went wrong? Did you make a mistake? What were those mistakes? You can list them out. It's okay to accept accountability if you made a mistake. And how can I improve? So I think if you ask those 3 things as you sit back and reflect, using those questions while you're reflecting allows you to strengthen yourself and boost yourself if any event that another loss happens. Okay, and it could happen. Number 3, focus on the positive. No matter what, Drake is a multimillionaire with millions of fans and is rich. Yeah, he lost the battle, but that doesn't mean that no one's going to listen to his albums. It doesn't mean that as a DJ, I'm not going to play, or other DJs are not going to play Drake. That's just not going to happen. This man was on fire from 2008 to 2025. Regardless of maybe this year, we may not hear a lot from him, which is okay. But from 2008 to 2025, there's tons of different albums, tons of different songs that we all were jamming to, we all were dancing to. So that's a positive. Okay. Also, it was a pretty good beef. If you really think about the speed in which we got music back and forth from them, I mean, that was amazing. I mean, we're getting one song at 11:59, at 12:01, here's a response. You're like, oh man, this is crazy. That was great. So focus on the positive. If you're going through a loss or dealing with an L, what went well? What did you do well? Okay. Recognizing those strengths, again, we're looking to build and boost your confidence. Okay. During that L happening. That's number 3. Number 4 is take a break. Now, I would probably suggest this. If I was OVO's official mindset coach, I probably would just tell them to chill. Just take a little break. Do some tours that you already had contractual obligations to. Take a break. Go on vacation. Get a tan. Relax. Come back when you're ready. And I would offer that to you. If you're able to, take a step back. Take a break. All right. I think about my son in the beginning when he's a great gamer now, but I think about when he would get upset and some of his friends would get upset and they would crash out or rage quit. You know, he wouldn't do it because I don't think he already knew what would happen if he would have been destroying consoles or smashing controllers. He never did that. But I do see a lot of people kicking TVs in and throwing stuff around. Shut it off. Shut it down. Take a step back. Take a break. Take a break so you can regroup, rethink, refocus. Okay? All right. Number 5, talk it out with your support system. It doesn't mean that you always need to talk about with your family if you feel like your family is not your support system. Doesn't mean you need to talk it out with your friends if you feel like your friends and family, I use the terms loosely, if you don't feel like they're supportive. Whoever is in your support system, talk it out with them. Family, friends, mental health staff, whoever you feel like you need to, talk it out with them. Okay? That allows you to be able to voice how you feel, be able to vent, get some insight, and just be able to have a safe space where you could talk about your feelings. All right? One of the weak things I really, which was unfortunate, was to see, I didn't really see a lot of people standing up for Drake. And there was a lot of people who benefited from a Drake verse. So where was OVO when all this was happening? I don't really like how I didn't really see a lot of people. LeBron is one of my favorite athletes. And yeah, it was tough to see that somebody that was so cool with Drake, now you're dancing and not like us, and I don't think it was intentional, but it's tough. I can imagine if I was Drake, that I had a homeboy who I done had tattooed on my body. Now you out here dancing and jamming to a song about my downfall. I probably would feel a damn way too. I think you would feel a way. So talk it out with your support system. And as we wrap this up with number 6, let me just go over them one more time. Number 1 is stay calm. Number 2 is reflect. Number 3 is focus on the positives. Even when you think about the Kansas City Chiefs, let's use them in this scenarios. They were supposed to three-peat, and they got destroyed, embarrassed. What's the positives? You went to the Super Bowl in an attempt to three-peat. There's no team that's done that. You won two championships. Some have won none. Number 4, take a break, take a step back. Number 5, talk it out. And number 6, just remember, everyone takes losses. The Chiefs just took a loss. The Eagles, prior to this, they took a loss too. Okay. My Ravens took a loss. All right. Lamar Jackson didn't even get offensive player of the year or MVP. And the only reason why he didn't get MVP is because they were tired of giving it to him. That's crazy, right? So just understand that everyone takes losses. Here's something that I want you to think about. I took a loss today. How you take a loss today, Gary? I've recorded this damn episode 3 times. 3 times, and that doesn't even happen to me. The first time I recorded it, zipped through it, great. I mean, the vibe is always going to be there. 2 side-by slots, fevers. The first time I recorded it, everything was cool, and I should have realized something was wrong because I can look to see how much time I've been recording. I didn't see that. I thought it was something new. I went to go upload it to YouTube, listen to it. It sounded weird. It sounded like a robot. I said, oh, damn it. Took a step back, took a breath. All right, let's go record it again. Second time, I got to 25 minutes of recording. I was wrapping this episode up. And I forgot to plug in my laptop. And it died. 25 minutes in. I was wrapping up this episode. Now, I will say I had to sort of step outside for that one. I can't release that one because a lot of y'all listen around y'all kids, and you don't need to listen to what I said when that happened. Okay, and this is the 3rd attempt. Seems like we're good to go. Everything's plugged in. Wi-Fi is working. We're good to go. All right. Everyone takes losses. There's no person that hasn't taken a loss. You're not exempt, whether you make millions of dollars or you're a thousandaire. Everyone takes losses. And so understanding that because we all take losses, we don't need to make a mountain out of a molehill. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't acknowledge the severity of a situation. At the end of the day, the Chiefs just lost a football game. Every person there is a millionaire for the most part. Drake is still a platinum recording artist. That if he stopped recording today, I think his family is straight. I think he is straight. Me having to record more than one time, at the end of the day, I just recorded again. You, whether you're listening to this or watching this, have dealt with losses, have dealt with L's, and you are 100% on top. You are 100-0. So we all deal with them. We all got to deal with them. Are they going to be on a grand stage like a Super Bowl, or, we're listening to stuff happening day in and day out on our phones? No, probably not. But just understand that we all deal with L's, and we all have to deal with them, and we all have to go through with them. All right. So we don't need to make a mountain out of a molehill. It's not the end of the world. People were like, oh, Drake's dead. No, the hell he's not. He just sold out in Australia. People still enjoy him. People still like listening to him. Actually, Kendrick Lamar's performance, people was like, yeah, they getting back to focusing on Drake. Drake can chill for 6 months, come back with a fire R&B album or something like that, man. We ain't even gonna be talking about Not Like Us. All right, so you don't need to make a mountain out of a molehill. Yeah, you can acknowledge the loss, but guess what? You're good. All right, so that's the end of the show. Hopefully this resonated with you. Please share it with family, friends, colleagues, whoever you feel might benefit from this episode. I greatly appreciate it. You can catch each and every episode hot, fresh, ready to go. All right, you can watch it on YouTube. You can listen to it wherever you stream, wherever you listen to podcasts. They're everywhere. And as I wrap this episode up, I just want to say thank you. You are the best part of the show. I know it's me. I'm here. I have the production going on. I have the content. That's great. And I thank you. But without you, there's really no content. So thank you. So until we see each other again, because we'll see each other again. Until we talk again, because we'll talk. And until we share those special, special moments again, guys, always remember, see what you want to do. Close your eyes and envision it. Plan it out. Write it down. Don't just say, oh, I got it up here. Put it down. And then, because you have confidence in yourself, you've overcome adversity. You've overcome the L's. The L's are not bigger than you. Just do it. All right? Stay encouraged. Your life coach loves you. I'll catch you next time. Same life coaching time. Same life coaching channel. See ya.